Yate from New Mexico. Welcome to another edition of New Mexico Outdoors with Mountaintop Bob. As promised, I wanted to do a video about for my ham guys and getting ready to get back on the air here. And I have taken down my 20-meter beam. Here it is. Can I do that? Oh, there we go. All right. So anyway. I want to talk a little bit about this because I have been accused of being a prepper. And believe me, we didn't move here in preparation for anything. We moved here for the peace and quiet. And at our age, we decided we owed ourselves an opportunity to live where we chose and not where we had to due to obligations. So our obligations were over, and this is where we chose. It had nothing to do with prepping for anything. I got into ham radio for a whole different purpose. However, I'm seeing a lot on the internet where a lot of preppers are and other folks that want to get out in the country and live far away are interested in ham radio. I've even had some inquiries from my neighbors here because they thought living down in this bowl with mesas all the way around us wouldn't be able to go anywhere, talk far. And that's not the case. So for those who want to know, and those who already know, if you watch this video, yes, I'll be back on the air soon. However, not with the computer, just with the radios. So that being said, those who don't know me and don't know me on the air. Let's see, what can I do with this beam? I can talk to the East Coast and listen to the East Coast. I've made contacts with this beam as it is now and with the bigger one that I built after this to England and Japan, Hawaii, all up into Canada, Mexico, South America, Venezuela. I got, it's just everywhere. And a lot of guys collect that stuff and they put it on their wall. I don't necessarily get into it. It's just, for me, it's a big enough a thrill just to actually say I was able to talk to so-and-so in Japan. I love talking to Japan. Anyway, so that's 20 meters. And so this beam is going to end up being 26 feet long. It's going to be 4-element. The driven element is insulated from the boom completely. And the reflector and the directors are not. They are not insulated from the boom. They do set up off the boom, but they're not totally insulated. So anyway, that being said, at the moment, I'm ready to hook the coax up. I got a little bit more adjustments to do. After I get done jabberjawing, I'll get up and walk around it and show everybody what I've done here. This beam started out life as a tri-bander, and I'm not sure what all it would do. When I got it, it was given to me to clean out a garage. Guy said, he gave me a whole bunch of stuff here. Actually, the tower behind me gave me that, and a bunch of stuff he gave me since I moved to New Mexico. People are really friendly here, and hopefully I'm doing a good job of being friendly back. Anyway, so this beam started out life as a 20-meter or a tri-bander, which would be probably 20, 15, and 10, maybe, something like that. So I converted it to a mono-bander, 20-meter. And to do that, I took out all the excess stuff that it didn't need, all the coils and stuff that's in there to make it work on all those other bands, and just used the aluminum. And barely had enough, just barely had enough. But I got a 4-element out of it, and it works really good in this configuration. Especially for me, because I don't have a rotor to put under it, and mostly I just want to talk to the East Coast. And this beam has a wide enough lobe, I guess is what you would call it, that I pick up and receive real well. Everything east of me, to the north and the south, it covers the whole thing. I rarely have to move it at all. And also with the driven element further away from the reflector, it receives more off the back, which is not really good for a beam. If I really wanted this thing to be, there's another configuration. I can put I can leave this element out here on the end, and I can scrunch up everything behind me, and it'll be more directional. But I prefer it this way. I don't really care for it to be that directional, because when 20 meters works, wow, you can stick a pole up in the air and talk anywhere. The beam helps a little bit, when signals start getting a little bit weak and I want to be involved in a net or something back east. It helps me to be able to be in there a little bit longer, because as it turns out, I have to give my computers up for my videos and YouTube and all the other stuff that I'm doing, and I'm just not going to be able to time up for a couple hours every morning to get on nets by the way of the computer. So I've stopped doing that. So this will be my one and only way to contact my friends back east on the ham radio. And when I get it all done and tuned up and everything's ready to rock and roll, I will put another video out there and show the performance of it, show how well it hears, how well it talks. And I would say that if you're going to get in the ham radio, you're going to need an Elmer. That's just without being said. And Elmer is one who has a general class or above that knows the ins and outs, that knows how to put it all together. Because once you take the test, then you got to be able to put your station up, and you want it to be put up in a way where it's less likely to get damaged by lightning, where your interior in your radio room. There's just any number of things and tricks that the Elmers know to help you along the way. That being said, the Elmers told me in the beginning that for every $1 you put inside your shack, your radio shack, you need to put $2 outside. And so what I'm doing is a way to cut back on some of that outside cost and still have a quality beam. This beam will cost anywhere from $600 to $1,000, depending on who and exactly what you bought, for a 4-element 20-meter monobander. $600 for about what I have here. So let's see, what else did I want to say about it? My 2-meter beam will go up on top of this. And for those out there in prep land and considering getting into ham radio, 2 meters is a whole different bandwidth, and it is FM. You still have everything. You still have FM, AM, sideband, upper and lower, and all of that. But it is cut up. The bandwidth is cut up in ways to where people have access to the ability to put up repeaters, and those repeaters will actually, in New Mexico here, they have 2 repeater systems that covers the entire state. And one of them, they'll get quite frustrated with you if you get on there and start rag chewing, which means just talking about nothing for a long time. So, and I have a habit of doing that. That's why I like 20 meters. I can get on there and do that all I want, but 2 meters, if you're on one of the repeaters, you may want to keep your conversation short and to the point. Get in, get out. But it gives you the whole state. So if anything happens anywhere in the state, you can be listening to the 2-meter band repeater system here in New Mexico and hear about it. So for people who are prepping and want to get way out and away from everything, get a 2-meter antenna up high, 50 watts, a vertical antenna. FM, you're looking at about with a decent antenna, maybe $250 for a really good radio. And they got some radios out there now that's got 75 and 100 watts right on the face of them for 2-meter FM. So that would be your radio for the preppers that just want to have local and good communication. However, you do have to have a license. For 2 meters, you have to have a technical license, a tech license. I currently hold a, general class. and then there's one above me, which is the extras, and the extras are extra special. Them are the guy. Ham radio, that license, your tech and your general and your tech and your your extra, gives you the ability to play. You can build your own amplifiers. You can build your own radios. You can just do all sorts of stuff. And that is, in my opinion, and anybody that watches my videos know how I feel about opinions. But in my opinion, the extra class is and should be reserved for those who are so into the electronics and so into the radios and can do all that stuff and teach it and show it and design it, because there's so many things in our life that you don't realize came from ham radio. The first radio goes all the way back to Marconi. It was invented with a dit and was to basically keep ships from colliding. But it went a long ways from there. The FCC got involved. They made the license and all of that. Ham operators, when you dial your phone and you hear it go beep, 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 ham guys done that. You can thank the ham guys for that. All right, so enough said about this, because I don't know that much about it. I know enough to keep me out of trouble. That's what your licenses are for. Take your time, learn it, and that's where Elmer comes in handy. Any questions you need, and the technician license is not that hard. That's introductory, and then find you an Elmer, and then bump right up. I took the technician and the general at the same time, and was lucky enough to pass them both. I think I missed 3 on the general and none on the tech. If I can do it, anybody can do it. It ain't that hard. All right, so signing off for this video. So I'll just jabber on. I'm going to get a few shots and a little bit more video around the tower, and I'll be talking a little bit as I go to explain things that I've done, and hopefully it doesn't turn out to be too long and too boring. Thanks for watching, and stand by. This is the beam I was talking about earlier in its entirety. You can see how long it is from tip to tip. It's in the 30-foot range. And that's the director element right there. That's the very front director element. That pulls it in a little bit tighter than a 3 element. And then moving forward, that's director number 2 right there, number 1 actually coming from the other end. It's a little bit wider than the front one up here, and it's still in the 30-foot range. I think this front one's 29 foot and real close to 30. That one's 30 foot and a fraction of an inch. And you got to get pretty close on that to get things the way they need to be. You can see my old tower that I'm going to be putting up as soon as I can afford it. Alright, so let me bump this off and go around to the side inside. I want to show you some stuff. Well, here we are. I want to show the way this is attached to the boom and why it's not completely insulated. So let me get up here a little closer. Then I can zoom a little bit too. Let's see how close I can get in there. So if you'll notice, that clamp touches the boom, the element, and then it goes down and it goes to the aluminum uninsulated on the bottom, and then that goes over and that's uninsulated to the boom. However, it works great. I should really change one of my things in my program that gives me the boom length and spread and all that, but I want to see how it works this way. I may have to do some research, because I realized that. I didn't realize that before. I always thought they were totally insulated, but however, they're not. Alright, so see if I can just kind of get a close-up of this boom or beam. So I want to show that, although you'll see on the internet when you're designing and building these things that There's all kinds of recommendations about your tubing and all of that. All I can say for sure is that the tips should be the same size of each element in the circumference of the element tubing, and it should kind of go up in the same, all the way through. However, on this particular one, it's pieced together, so that is not the case. The tips are the same circumference, but they are not the same length. Alright, so what I'm trying to show here is that everywhere there's a piece of tape, it changes size on the circumference of the elements. So if you can see it, hopefully you can. I'm going to start easing up, and let me get all repositioned. Maybe I can get a better shot of that. The sun's in a precarious position at the moment. Alright, maybe that'll show better. So as you can see, the tape really don't line up. And as we get out here, on the ones in the back there, there's a whole lot of, or in this end, there's a whole lot of little pieces on these directors up here. But it works, so I'm going to show how well it works. So folks will know, there's always an option. If you get out looking, you get to know these guys, some of them got some junk laying around, and you can build an antenna, just like I have. This antenna at the moment has cost me nothing but time. I already had the coaxes from other antennas and other stuff, so it's cost me nothing but time and what I already had. Alright, so let me get a couple more shots real quick, and then we'll call this a video. Alright, so I want to show this rope, and it's slack right now. Again, that's just an old lariat that I had, and I just cut it off. I already had those turnbuckles right there. So that is designed to take the bow out of the boom, and as you can see, there's quite a bow in it. But it'll be nice and straight and flat when I'm done. And then at this point, I think I'm going to call this a video, get it out there, and so everybody know I've been doing something besides just sitting around the house. And I've also got my shack kind of turned around like I want it. I got my big soil machine in the back so I can start using it. I got my computers and all on the other side, so I'm now direct hooked to the doohickey in the living room. Makes it all work. The modem, and let's see, I got some paint spread, got some insulation on the walls to help with the audio in there. So stand by and stay tuned, and I'll let you visit that whenever we test out the beam and see who all we can talk to when we're done. Thanks for watching. Mountaintop Bob. Let me try this again. Thanks for watching. This is Mountaintop Bob from New Mexico Outdoors. Everybody have a good day.